Just letting movement happen for a bit until you really find a nice place to settle into stillness, sensing your body as you move, noticing where you're holding. Also notice where you might feel open, and then finally resting in stillness, sensing the ground beneath you, feeling the pull of gravity, drawing downward, and then lift up from there through the spine, getting nice and tall, feeling the pull through the crown of the head. And for a moment, sense both the pull in both directions. Notice if you're holding any tension in the jaw and invite it to ungrip. Relax through the tongue. Notice if there's any holding in the belly and invite it to soften. And then watch your breath touch into it for a few cycles. And then invite a few cycles of 3-part breath, breathing into belly, ribs, and chest. Exhaling chest, ribs, belly. Feeling that sideways or lateral expansion on the inhale through the rib cage. Really letting it draw in on the exhale. And then with hands on the knees, let's open through the chest, leaning forward slightly. Feel the shoulders drawing wide and drawing back. And then round through the back, tucking the chin. So moving a few times, feel the hands press down into the knees as the chest opens, so it activates the muscles under the shoulder blades. And then round, tucking the chin, feeling into the back. And then again, opening up through front body, and then rounding to open up through back body, and stay in the rounding shape for a moment and snake the spine side to side. Notice how the shoulders want to move there. And then make your way forwards, and we'll let the shoulders explore there also. Then let your head begin to shift side to side, shoulder to shoulder, rolling across the chest, feeling into the back and sides of the neck. Yeah, let yourself pause there, really letting the head be heavy. And at some point, reach out with the opposite arm, reaching away through the shoulder, through the fingertips. Letting the chin tilt up, and then invite the mouth to open so you're stretching through the whole front side of the neck. And then slowly tilt the chin down, feeling to the back side of the neck. And then roll the chin across the chest to the other side. Letting the head be heavy and reaching the hand away in the opposite direction. Really let your breath touch the sensations, creating space within the tissues where you feel the stretch. And then play with the position of the chin and the mouth opening. Eventually tilting the chin down, rolling it across the chest when you're ready. And go a couple more times, rolling the head, this time leaning forwards and hands heavy on the knees, let the elbows open out and shift the shoulder blades around the back. Maybe in this leaning forwards position, invite a few shoulder circles. Hands heavy, elbows wide. And then open up through the chest, sitting tall. Moving back into the rounding shape. And then opening up, finding a long spine. Let's make some shoulder circles. And let the left hand ground. Keep circling through the right shoulder. And then let the right elbow circle, feeling the whole range of movement through the shoulder joint. Maybe the arm starts to lengthen. And as the arm opens, we'll go to the other side, grounding right hand and just circling left shoulder to begin. Notice where the head wants to be. And then let elbow circle. Notice any kinks. Imagine that you're oiling them up. And the whole arm extending. And the next time that the arm opens, bring both hands back, walking them back, pawing with them so that the elbows, the fingertips can find where they want to be, elbows bend. Feel chest and shoulders really opening. And yeah, bring circling into chest. One direction and the other. And then bring the circling lower in the body into the pelvis. Allowing the legs to move how they need to. Going in both directions. And then lift up through your front foot. And we'll turn that same arm, bringing it around towards a twist. So finding the earth on the other side. Leave the knee up and then circle here through the pelvis and the spine. Notice how the shoulders want to move also. Going in both directions. Feel the breath in the belly. Feel the expansion happening through the abdominals on inhale and exhale. And then bring the hands behind again. We'll lift the feet out in front and cross the other foot. Stepping that foot to the earth, moving around into a twist. Notice how this side feels different. If it feels different. Bringing the circling into exploring it in the pelvis. And then noticing how the spine responds. So initiating it through the pelvis. And then coming back with the hands, lifting through the feet. This time we'll lift also through the arms. So activating core. Finding a long spine. And then shifting side to side. Arms and legs away from the midline, so reaching them out to the sides also, as well as front and back. And let's cross left foot, stepping right foot forward, shift forwards inside the foot. And then move back with the hips. Send the left hand back and press in to the ground, sending hips high. And let's circle through the right arm. Maybe the hips come down and up with the arm. And dropping back down with the hips. Legs come out in front, giving a wobble there of long spine. Feeling the space in the front of the chest. And then cross right foot, step left foot forward, shift inside, left foot. Feeling into the pelvis, feeling the foot on the ground, spreading the tissues of the foot, rolling around the foot. And slowly drop back with the hips. Right hand grounds behind, pressing down to lift up through the hips, circling. Notice if the hips want to move down and up with the arm. And then drop down with hips. Step left foot closer to the shin. And we'll bring hands around, swinging knees underneath. And let's move back into child's pose. Resting for a moment, letting everything get heavy, coming to the breath. Maybe moving around through the shoulders here, letting them shrug towards the ears and then drawing them away from the ears. And then press the fingertips into the ground, let the wrists move up, the arms lengthen, and the head's heavy. Drag the shoulder blades wide, the shoulders broaden, they draw away from the ears. And then walk the hands back to sit up onto the heels. Stepping hands back, pawing at the hands, finding where the fingertips want to go. And then lift through one hip and then the other. Or if both want to lift at the same time, they can. And let's ground left hand, circling right. And then grounding right hand, circling left. And opening up, sitting tall, bringing hands behind to interlock. Sending them down to the ground, feeling the space in the chest. Keep rib cage drawing in slightly. And then we'll lay the belly towards the thighs, let forehead come to the ground and roll onto the crown of the head. Letting the hands move up. Yeah, feel free to roll forwards and back. Maybe even making circles, gentle circles around the crown of the head. And then rest back. Let the arms rest on the ground beside you. Let them get really heavy, feeling the shoulders releasing. And allow a few deep breaths to move through, creating expansion through the whole torso. And feel the drawing in on the exhale. And again, rolling up onto the heels. And then shift the hips forward and up. Open the arms back. And reaching back with the hands, let's press into the tops of the feet, leaning back. And rocking forwards and back a few times. Feeling the core begin to activate. And we'll shift hips back, hands forward. Staying here in this kind of crouching puppy shape, so hands can walk back, chest open, and then let the hips shift side to side, spine snakes, head follows. And then invite a cat and cow in this position a few times. Feel the movement of the shoulders within that exploration. So really exaggerate the movement of the shoulders around the back as you move. Maybe notice if you can go in both directions with the shoulders. So one way, they're kind of moving down, forwards, and up and around, and then switch to move up and forwards and down. And then we'll find neutral spine and shift forwards onto hands and knees. Pawing at the hands, feel the shoulders, the elbows soft, the shoulders moving around in their socket. And then ground the hands, press into them, rounding through the back, and give a snaking of the spine in a rounded position. And then drag the hands back, feel the chest open, and snake the spine in this cow position. Yeah, we can start to move between child's pose and table, letting the spine wave however feels most natural. And then maybe letting it transition into a circling at the same time, so the hips are moving around in circles. Eventually finding stillness. And let's reach the right arm forwards and up. Really integrate left shoulder, so feel it drawing into the socket, and send hips back, circling right arm forwards, up and back with the hips. Just going one more time, and then holding high with the arm. And we'll thread it underneath left. And sending it up and threading a few times. So going through the rotation, really grounding into left arm, feeling the shoulder integrated as you move around it. Just going one more time, reaching high, and then thread underneath, resting onto the outer edge. Wherever you want to be here, let the spine find some fluidity in the shape. Feel your breath deepening. Maybe the left shoulder opens up more towards the ceiling. And then ground left hand in front of the face to come up. And let's reach the right arm up. And let's send it forwards actually, and lengthen left leg back. Drawing knee to chest and chin. And going a few times, lengthening, reaching, and then activating the core to round. Yeah, same side. Eventually we'll lengthen and bend into the leg, take a hold of the foot, reaching up. Let the head be heavy as you press back with the foot. Really feel the opening of the chest, right chest and shoulder. And then ground right hand, keep left foot lifted. Let's circle the left knee out to the side. After 3 circles, step the left foot forward. And we'll circle around the outer edge of the foot. And switch directions. Feeling the movement through the whole body, the knee, the hip. And then ground the foot. Let's ground right hand, open left. And coming back down with left hand. Step left knee back. And reach left hand forward. And sending it up. Hips move back. Arm moves back and slides forwards as the hips move forwards. Notice the right shoulder. Feel the integration of that shoulder. Stability within it. And then hold high with the arm. And we'll thread it underneath and then unravel. Noticing the breath as you move. Eventually resting on the outer edge of the arm. Finding whatever variation you like in the shape. And over time, invite your right shoulder to open up towards the ceiling. And then we'll ground the right hand. Coming up with left, reaching it high, and then sending it forwards, reaching right leg back, and bring knee to chest or knee to elbow underneath. Feel the glute activating as the leg lengthens, front body activating as you round. And then eventually, once you lengthen, we'll take a hold of the foot behind, pressing up and back. Feel left chest opening. One more breath there. And then ground left hand, circle right knee. Notice range of motion on this side. And then step right foot forwards. Open up through the chest and feel the space in the chest. Notice the length of the spine as you circle around the foot. Going in both directions. And then leave the knee bent, ground left hand, we'll reach your right arm up. And then come back with the hands grounded, stepping right knee back. Sinking back into child's pose. When you're ready, roll up onto the heels. Shift hips forwards and up, opening up through chest and shoulders, and interlock the fingers. Keep rib cage drawing in as you lean back and forward, letting the hands move away from the body. And then lengthening through the spine, maintain the bind in the hands, sit the hips to the heels, let belly come to the thighs, and rest forehead on the ground, rolling along the crown of the head. Gently. Slowly sit back to the heels, let the arms rest beside you. And we'll roll up to sit onto the heels and walk the hands forwards, coming to this puppy shape. Feel the hands drag back. So let that movement happen again, the circling around the shoulders with the chest. Kind of moving between cat and cow as the shoulders circle one direction and then the other. And then find a long spine and press into the shins, shifting forwards. Pawing with the hands, feel the shoulders rolling around and they're moving around in their sockets. And then let's tuck the toes, lifting the knees and shift into one foot and then the other so that the hips are moving within their sockets. And let's send the hips back and up. Coming to dog. Spending a few moments stretching out. Feel the shoulders broaden. Feel the head heavy. Invite openness through the backs of the legs. And then see if you can bring openness into the side body by shifting the hips to one side. Breathing into the rib cage. And then going to the other side. And then lengthening through the legs. Let's reach right leg back and up. And draw knee to chest and chin underneath. And then moving back and up. Bringing knee to left elbow. And sending it back. Knee to right elbow. And then moving back and up. Let's bend into the knee, stack the hips. Bend and lengthen left leg. Invite right knee to point up towards the ceiling. Keeping the hips traveling back. 3 circles out to the right with right knee. And then we'll step the foot forward. Finding a lunge. Inviting an elastic lunge, bouncing the hips up and down. And then step left hand wide, right arm reaches up. Dropping right hand back down, and let's step right foot back, coming to dog. Lifting left leg, and draw knee to chest as you shift forward. And then back. Knee to right elbow, and then knee to left elbow. And then bend, stacking the hips, let left knee point up, bend and lengthen right leg. Feel a breath in the belly. And then we'll circle out to the left with left knee 3 times. Eventually step left foot forward, wide. Finding elastic lunge. Ground right hand wide, open up through left arm. And then come back, dropping the hands. Step left foot back, down dog. Let's drop the knees to the ground. And walk the hands forwards, coming into puppy. Dropping forehead and shoulders. Taking a few breaths there. Coming, rounding up through the back to move forwards, leaving the hands where they are. Shift hips forwards and line the knees in the head and shift them side to side. And we'll drop down onto the belly and the forearms, dragging them back. Feel shoulders broaden and shift the shoulders side to side. Grounding right hand to lift right elbow, thread left arm, underneath, roll into a twist. Letting your legs go where they like. And then really allowing breath to move the body here. We'll send the legs back down the mat, coming back to the belly. Back onto the forearms. And then let's press into one hand so that the arm lengthens, sending the shoulders away. And then go to the other side. The head can follow. As the left elbow lifts, thread right arm underneath it, rolling into a twist. Observing the movement of the body with the breath. And send legs back, coming to the belly. Let's bring forehead to the ground, interlock fingers behind. Open up through the chest, send hands up, and roll around the spine. So do it a few times with grounded feet, and then we'll lift through the feet, lifting up through active back body, lifting up through the whole body. And then release, letting hands come to frame chest, send hips back, child's pose. Feel the softening of the back here. When you're ready to continue moving, roll up onto the heels. And then we'll shift hips forwards. Open up through chest and shoulders. Let's tuck the toes. And reach back with fingers, taking a hold of the heels. Send hips forward. Couple of breaths more here. And then release one hand and then the other. And we'll send hips back, hands forward. Walking hands back, open up through the chest, coming into this crouching puppy. I'm just finding a long spine for a moment. And we'll shift forwards, walking the hands forward. Pawing with the hands, feel the rolling around in the shoulders, the movement in the socket. And then tuck the toes, let's alternate feet, knees hovering a couple inches above. And then alternate feet and hands. And send hips back and up, down dog. Letting the head be heavy, shoulders broad. And let's start left foot first this time, lifting up with left leg. And draw a knee to chest and chin. And sending it back and up. And draw a knee to right elbow. This time let's plant the foot outside the right hand, lifting through right arm. And then drop right hand, bringing left foot back and up. And bringing knee to left elbow. Notice if you can hook the knee above the elbow, so you want to bend into the elbow a little bit. And maybe you give a little push up. And we'll send the leg back. Bend into the knee, stack the hips. If you like, you can continue over into Wild Thing. Bringing hips down and up. Taking a breath or two there. And then we'll circle left knee out wide just once. And step it forwards into a lunge. Let's move high now. So bend, pressing into the left foot, open up through the body. Interlock the fingers behind, sending them down and back. And then drop the belly just inside left thigh. Let the head be heavy. Releasing the hands, float them down and cartwheel up, bringing right heel to the ground for warrior two. Send right hand back, left arm up. And then lengthen through left leg. Reaching through left fingertips. We'll bend into left knee, coming up, and turn the right heel up into a lunge. Bringing hands around, so left arm drops, right arm reaches up. Walk the hands towards each other, finding a bind. And we'll release here, bringing hands to the ground. Stepping left foot. Actually, let's ground right hand. Open up through left arm. And then bringing both hands to the ground, send left foot back. Moving right leg up. Knee to chest as you shift forward. And send the leg back and up. Bringing knee to left elbow and then ground the foot wide. Opening up through left arm. Grounding left hand, send right foot back and up. And knee to right elbow, hooking it onto the elbow and give a little push up. Sending it back. And bend into the knee, stack the hips. Bend into left knee to come over. Wild thing. Coming to the earth with the hips, lifting high. And then ground right hand. Circle right knee out to the right once, and then step it forwards into a lunge. We'll press into right foot, moving up, open through front body, interlock the fingers, behind. Reaching down and away with the hands. And then we'll fold. Heavy head. Floating the hands down and cartwheeling them up. Grounding left heel, warrior two. Drop left hand back, right arm up and over. Lengthen right leg. Reach through right foot and right leg and right arm. Breathing into the side body. And we'll bend into right knee. Turn left heel up. And find a bind behind, so right hand drops or arm drops, left arm high. Walking the hands together. And then eventually releasing the hands to the ground. Step left hand wide, reach right arm up. And we'll ground hand, step right foot back, down dog. And bending into both knees. Let's get sits bones wide. And then round up and forwards into high plank. Let's draw right knee out to the side and send hips low. Walking down onto forearms. Feel forearms drag back, belly drags forward. And we'll bend into left knee. And rotate it in, let the hips follow, moving up with the hips. And then send the foot back up a few times like that. and then lengthening out with the leg. Let's walk back with the hands and lift both knee and hips, sending the foot back. Bending through both knees, sits bones wide, and then round up and forwards. And we'll draw left knee out to the side. Open through the chest as you walk down onto forearms. So the forearms drag back, belly forward. A couple of breaths there, feeling where the sensation comes into the body. And then bend into the knee. And rotate the leg, sending the hips up and back with the foot as it rotates in. And dropping the hips down as it rotates out. And lengthening the leg. We'll walk back to the hands. Tuck the right toes to lift hips and leg up. And drop. Bring the leg back. Down dog. Shifting the hips side to side. And let's draw right knee up for pigeon. Opening up through front body, letting it be active for a moment, send hands back, floating them up. And then walk forwards, folding however far you want to go. And then keep a little movement through the hips, shifting side to side. Take your time to move out. And let's lift through the back foot, sitting to right hip. And then just letting a bit of isolated movement come into left hip, shifting it forwards and back. And then invite hands to walk around to the right and circle through belly, spine, let shoulders move, the head be free. And then thread right arm under left, keeping the legs where they are, roll onto the back. Letting everything be heavy, inviting a long breath. Staying as long as you feel to before walking out the way you came down. Bring hands behind, knees up in front, and bring left knee towards the top of the mat. Swing right leg back for pigeon. Yeah. And then pressing into the shin, float hands back and up. And we'll walk forwards, folding either onto forearms or fully onto the ground, shifting hips side to side. Walk up when you're ready. And we'll bend into the back leg, sitting onto your left hip. Letting hands rest where it feels supportive, and then just rocking right hip forwards and back. And then moving around to the left with the hands, circling through the pelvis now. And we'll thread left arm under right to get legs, feet in one direction, knees in the other on our back. And feel the weight of the head there. When you're ready to come out of this one, stay longer if you like, but when you are ready, bring right knee up and over to the left knee so you're in a deeper twist. Really allowing yourself to rest in restoration now. Feeling the weight of the body, the weight of the head, ungripping the jaw. Observing the breath. And then bring right arm over, grounding the hand to lift up through the body, and bring left hand behind in line with the shoulder. Resting the shoulder down. You can choose to have the arm long or bent. Mine is long right now. If you want to deepen into it, you can lift right knee, maybe planting the foot behind and rolling. So I ground my right hand to roll my back towards my left arm even more. And then lengthen right leg down towards the bottom of the mat. Ground right hand, so use the right leg to help come up, reaching it away. And then we'll thread left arm under again. Coming to the back, let knees come up and over to the other side. Resting in this twist, enjoying the restorative shape. And then bringing left arm over, we'll thread right arm behind. Hand in line with the shoulder. Resting the cheek down. can start, if you want, with legs forwards and then later lift up through the knee. When you're ready to come out, lengthen the leg to pull you up, grounding left hand. Yeah, thread right arm under, come to the back. Walk the shoulder blades under the back, pressing the elbows down into the earth. And then lift the one hip up and then the other. So pressing into one foot and then the other to shift the hip higher and higher on each side. Creating a pendulum, getting the hips higher and higher until they get high enough so that you can interlock fingers underneath. Walking shoulder blades closer and closer together. And then maybe you play with leaving the bind there as the hips drop down for a moment. And then lift the hips to release the bind. Keep the shoulders under you as the hips lower. And then let the shoulders rest flat on the ground. And sense your body and allow it to tell you what else is needed. Exploring whatever arises until you feel ready to rest. Whatever is arising, notice if there's any holding in the jaw, invite it to relax. Really feel the weight of the head. Allow the awareness to rest on breath, the softness of the belly.